Brought to you by Penguin.
The Identity Trap by Yascha Mounk. Read by J.D. Jackson.
Introduction. The Lure and the Trap. In the late summer of 2020, Kyla Posey asked the principal of Mary Lynn Elementary School in the wealthy suburbs of Atlanta whether she could request a specific teacher for her 7-year-old daughter. "No worries," the principal responded at first. "Just send me the teacher's name." But when Posey emailed her request, the principal kept suggesting that a different teacher be a better fit. Eventually, Posey, who is black, demanded to know why her daughter couldn't have her first choice. "Well," the principal admitted, "that's not the black class." The story sounds depressingly familiar. It evokes the long and brutal history of segregation, conjuring up visions of white parents who are horrified at the prospect of their children having classmates who are black. But there is a perverse twist. The principal, Sharon Briscoe, is herself black. As Posey told the Atlanta Black Star, she was left in disbelief that I was having this conversation in 2020 with a person that looks just like me, a black woman. It's segregating classrooms. You cannot segregate classrooms. You can't do it. The events at Mary Lynn Elementary School, it turns out, are not the continuation of an old and familiar story. They are part of a new ideological trend. In a growing number of schools all across America, educators who believe themselves to be fighting for racial justice are separating children from each other on the basis of their skin color. Some public schools have started segregating particular subjects. Evanston Township High School in the suburbs of Chicago now offers calculus classes reserved for students who identify as black. Many more are embracing race-segregated affinity groups. A school district in Wellesley, Massachusetts, for example, recently hosted a healing space for Asian and Asian American students. As an emailed invitation emphasized, this is a safe space for our Asian/Asian American and students of color, not for students who identify only as white. The 14th Amendment and the Supreme Court's landmark ruling in Brown v. Board of Education establish narrow limits on the extent to which state institutions can discriminate between citizens on the basis of their skin color. As a result, the adoption of racially segregated classrooms and safe spaces at public schools has inspired legal challenges and even a federal investigation. But what happened in Atlanta, Evanston, and Wellesley has long since become common practice in private schools, which are subject to less stringent restrictions. At some of America's most elite schools, from Boston to Los Angeles, teachers now routinely divide students into different groups based on their race or ethnicity. In many cases, such groups are effectively mandatory. In some, students are so young that their teachers need to tell them which group to join. At Gordon, a storied private school in Rhode Island, teachers start to divide children into affinity groups, which meet every week and are divided by race, in kindergarten. A play-based curriculum that explicitly affirms racial identity, wrote Julie Parsons, a longtime teacher at Gordon, which was recently honored for its efforts at diversity, equity, and inclusion by the National Association of Independent Schools, is especially important for the youngest learners. Dalton, a prestigious school on New York's Upper East Side that educates the children of the city's elite, has gone out of its way to explain the pedagogical goals that animate such practices. According to statements and outside resources hosted on Dalton's website, anti-racist institutions must help their students achieve the right racial identity. A conversation between experts convened by a prominent organization that has worked closely with the school and is fittingly called Embrace Race points out that when students are young, even a person of color or black person might say,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?